Alright y'all, what's up? This is Ashes. I got into it earlier this morning with a guy that was saying why don't I use Firebirds, because that's the shit with fire. I love Firebirds. It's a great move. It's awesome. It does a lot of damage. It spreads out to a lot of things, but I prefer mass detonation, because if you really want to go at a group and do a lot of damage, mass det will kill them, especially if you do a nice little damage increase rollout like I use to stack my dots, which is a combination of 50%ers and 45%ers, and the only 60% move I have on is mass det, which by that time, if the target is not dead, I hit them with just snuff out and it will kill them, because it hits 2 times. The first hit initially hits for like 300, between 300 and 1,000. It can hit for 2,000 if you roll it off right, but it hits for like 5,000, 6,000. I've hit it for 7,000. It's all about catching them at the right time. By the time you come off with this rollout, their damage will be low enough, or their health will be low enough to actually use it. I'm trying to find a dummy that's not getting attacked or beat on right now. Okay, perfect. I just stack my dots. I keep using my weapon and I'm lagging, but I will try to give you an effect of this. This isn't gonna work well. I'm lagging too bad. I'm not gonna be able to catch my moves. But as you can see, as I continue to put dots on them, a lot of people say I don't burn fast enough, but the actual ideal is the way I'm hitting this one target, no matter where in the room something is around it, it's taking the same equal damage, because all fire does is splash damage. That's it. And versus a person using Fireburst, while they're sitting there calling out that one move and trying to get it to hit, going through the interruptions and everything else, I don't really feel for it too much. Let me see if I can get this to a point where I'm not lagging. I don't know why it's lagging, but for some reason every time I come to this war room, I guess it depends on how much is going on down here. Maybe if I try to switch to another phase. Let's check and see. Who is on? Cannot phase in combat. Well, that sucks. That sucks a lot. Alright. I could use a training dummy at my base, but for some reason the training dummies in your base are weak, so you really can't see the amount of damage you're doing. And all of these moves I use are moves that, if you're used to playing with fire a lot, you know that fire is a taunting move. It taunts a lot because it has, I kind of want to say, one of the longest dots in the game that lasts on your target, and that may be why it taunts so much. Pull aggro off a lot of people, so you're gonna find yourself getting attacked a lot. I'm pretty sure if you use Fireburst, you notice you got lunged at a lot while trying to get off Fireburst. So to have Fireburst and mass det, there's no point. You might as well get one or the other. I use mass det because I can drop a rock there, it splatters out and hit everything, setting everything on fire. I can call my fire circle over there, then everybody that's around me is, hit with immolation and whatever the case might be. I can call mass det, and that was a 5,000 crit, but he wasn't on fire, so therefore the dot went off. I don't know if it's not going to hit him because of the way it's set up down here or what, but usually in a raid, I set the whole entire room on fire within a matter of seconds. I just drop my rock there, clip it with fiery weapon, switch this target, hit him with overheat, inferno. If I want, I can drop the rock again. It's going to hit harder, being the point that I've done that. I can go into snuff out. And so as you see, the whole time I'm just stacking numbers. For some reason, I'm only pulling off 1,000 crits, and I have not called a cast move yet, if you notice. And I'm stacking numbers like crazy. With thousands, some hundreds. I'm using my weapon attack that's hitting for 1,000, 2,000 there. And this is what I'm doing constantly. So I go on to the next target. I can just keep it moving. I don't have to sit there in one period of time doing anything, which is perfect for me in Paradox, because I'm not caught with my pants down. I'm not just sitting there waiting on somebody to clip me up or see, look at that 1,000, boom. And this is how you get off with fire, or this is how I get off with fire. If If you notice, I'm not always just striking at one thing, which I'm pretty sure every ideal player does the same thing to some extent. But I just can't see using fire burst, and I have not called mass debt not one time, and I'm taking these targets down fairly fast, you know. But once your tank gathers everything up while you in the mayhem of dancing around everything, that's when you can call mass debt. Which you see the dots I have on these targets. See, it's not going. I don't know if they're not close enough or it just won't do it in this war room, because usually everything on the screen will just detonate and blow up. The highest crit I've had so far was a 13,000 crit. That was in Prime, which I'm T5. That's a T4. That's probably why it got that high. In T5's Paradox and Nexus, I may commonly hit for 7,000, 8,000 crits, and that's on multiple targets. Whatever health they have left by the time you stack all these dots, that's what it's going to hit them for at mass debt. So by the time I drop the rock, clip with fire weapon, hand blast in the fire circle, hand blast again in the overheat, hand blast again into that, the whole room is dotted with fire, hit them with mass dead, and boom, that's everything almost pretty much dead. With that 60% increase after mass dead, once that hit, if anything is left standing, snuff out. Go to the next target, snuff out. And that's when you just toggle between your targets, snuff out, and just go ahead and take them out, which will kill them very quickly. No cast moves, none of that other nonsense. I really try to get away from cast moves. I went from electric, which people say was broken, and that's how I played with electric. That's how I play with my hard light. That's how I played with my celestial. And also even mental. I try to stack a lot of hard dots on them. So therefore, if you ever put in a position where you have to move, because the minute you move, you're interrupting your moves. Your damage increase, I believe, no longer continues. So if I was to have to roll out and call mass debt, it's not going to hit as hard. But at the same time, if I'm fighting, hand blast, fire circle, clip with trinket, hit that, rock, overheat, rock, fire weapon again, snuff out. That dude is still dotted. See, now you see what I'm doing. I'm never really running out of moves. I can keep on hitting. I can keep on hitting non-stop. I can keep moving, which works terrific for me. I love this here. The little ball kick with the jump. Boom. Keep it moving. That's good to dodge some charges. That's just how I play. I mean, everybody plays different. You have to play what works for you. Fire burst does not work for me because I have a habit of holding forward on my stick anyway, so I always move. You know, a lot of times if I do go down, it's because there's nothing I can much do about it. I probably had an ice tank in the room, which with the amount of taunting you do with your power, there's no way that they can keep something off you, especially if you're putting out numbers like this and dotting the whole entire room. And I mean, that's what I do. Like I said, it works great for me. The rock hits for like 1,200. If you clip the rock with fiery weapon, if you can call fiery weapon before the rock hits them, it increases your damage. And that's my way of moving also, because the rock is a cast move. As you notice, it's a short cast, but it works well. It times out every 3 seconds or 4 seconds maybe. That was a nice fix that I like that they did. You know, the rock ain't as devastating as it used to be, but it still does the job. It covers a lot of ground versus setting things on fire. But usually what I would do, I use it to make my inferno hit a whole lot harder, which is rock, fire weapon, boom, hit, fire circle or inferno, overheat, snuff out. And see, I don't have to take no time casting anything, which if I call a cast move right now and another person was out here playing, they probably would have killed it by the time I called fire burst. Or for example, if I was with another fire DPS right now, I would kill this target before he gets his fire burst out, most likely, or leave it with very little health. So you know. And a lot of people say my burn is slow, but the thing is, over a span of time in alerts or in a raid, I will quickly catch him and I will pass him, because I'm able to hit more than him, faster than him, quicker than him, and I'm hitting just as hard. Now when it comes to big groups of things, I just rock, move to a safe point, mass dead, voila, and that'll kill everything. But that's me as a fire DPS. Everybody plays different. I love this loadout because it keeps me moving, it keeps me active, it keeps my butt out of the fire versus getting charged by things, hit by things, lunged by things. You have no idea. Sometimes I miraculously miss hits and lunges just by moving as much as I do, you know. I do jump a lot sometimes. I don't know why. I have happy fingers, but I give it the business. See, it just automatically switched to that target because that one was dead. I guess I hit him with something that critted him and left him with no health, so it targeted this one automatically. But that's what it does though. When you constantly hitting dots, the minute you kill another target, it's just switching over. You're not stuck between fire bursts. Now, like I said, fire burst is a great move. It's awesome. I would love to have it on my loadout. Unfortunately, it always get interrupted. It always get interrupted to a point that once my fire burst get interrupted and now I'm waiting on it to time out, I have nothing else to call. Inferno, if you call Inferno, it got a 22-second timeout or 18-second timeout. I'm not sure, but it takes forever to time out. It stays up for a long time, but if your Inferno get interrupted, you don't have no fire out there, you can always quickly cycle between this, your rock. That does a dot. You can always cycle between that. 2 dots on them. Now you can drop the rock again with a fiery weapon again. Now you can drop the rock again. Now you can drop the rock again. The rock, I love what they did with it for the timing out pretty fairly quick, you know. And me, I'm a balanced fire DPS. I don't really believe in going to all might because there are times where you're going to run out of power. Troll might go down or whatever the case might be, and at that point I can just stack a couple of dots on him and I can use my weapon, which can still wear them down pretty fast, as you can see. And I can build my own power up and just keep throwing some dots on them. Like as you see it when I drop the rock, it doesn't really take a lot of power, not like Inferno. Fire burst doesn't take a lot of power too, but if you up shit creek trying to get fireballs off on an ad or a group of ads and you're getting fucked with, you're gonna die. I'm sorry, you're just gonna die. But yep, this is how I do it. High numbers the whole time. And some people are always coming to me, Ashes, man, I ain't see you call fire burst not one time. Yeah, but I'm still the second or top DPS, and because of the point that when you hit a certain obstacle and you had aggro on you, there was nothing you can do because you had too many cast moves. I'm hitting, I'm hitting, I'm hitting, I'm hitting, I'm running, and numbers are still coming off like crazy. I'm hitting, I'm running, still getting numbers. That's just what I do. I want to see numbers come off at all times. If I can get numbers coming off at all times, I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job. I'm doing my role. I'm doing damage per second. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing my role. I'm not building up for the big hit. I'm not doing anything of that. I'm just trying to kill it before you kill it. And that will happen a lot. Especially if you're going against a hard ladder celestial, they will kill things pretty fast. So you have to get your numbers in there quick. Like I said, I do use my weapon. I use my weapon a lot. I love my weapon, regardless of what it is. One-handed, bow, staff, whatever I have, I'm gonna use it. See, the rock didn't even hit him, but it still caught him for that splash damage. He just didn't take that initial first hit. But yeah, the rock covers good area. This is my cycle right here, though. This is how I call it. If you want to see me take it from scratch, you can get some power first. Let's see if I can find a sparring target. Nobody's at it. I wonder why nobody's here. Good. Sit back and give me some power. Give me some power, punk. Give me some power. Give me some power. Alright. Now, here we go. Now let me see if I get him down or up to full health. Oh, this move here is great because it hits everything in front of you in a cone effect. Everything get hit for like 1,000 or 500 or whatever. But I always go into a fight and start off with my weapon. Rock fiery weapon. Oh, I meant to do the other move, but that'll work. Trinket. Mass that. That's usually how I cycle it out. That's my cycle and kill everything right there. Boom. Snuff out for whatever left. You see how hard that hit? And just keep it going. That was a little sloppy, but you got the idea though. You got the idea. I'm gonna try it one more time. I wish I had a tank down here in my league. I could get him to grab up some of these sparring dummies so I could actually show you exactly what I'm getting at. I just ran a duo with another fire DPS Ultima Magnitude, which is he's pretty awesome. He's good. He's great. But I noticed that I started pulling away from him pretty quickly because I would see when he was calling his fire burst. Meanwhile, while he was calling it, he just about to get it off his fingertips, and he gets lunged. So that's 5 seconds or 4 seconds that he done lost to me doing this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, I'm just stacking numbers the whole time. And that like some pretty fast and quick burn to me, because that target has nothing left. That's how long it's going to take you to get that one little move off. Just fire burst by itself. So if you calling stuff before it, I just left you in the dust, homie. Like I said, I play different from other people. You're going to have to figure out your own way, but maybe if somebody see me in the game and they wonder why I don't use fire bursts, a lot of people keep on asking me that with everything I get into. So that'll probably tell you why I don't use fire bursts, because I'm hitting everything, which fire burst does too, but you got to wait for it. Why wait? Get it now. Kill it now. Peace.